It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in yet again to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, the show is on weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, and I invite you to tune in each and every morning as I talk to different business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what they are doing to make a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. So it's a business variety show, and you're going to get different tips and tricks about what the different people have done to be successes in their line of work. So again, I invite you to tune in each morning, take a break from all the political news and sports talk with a show with a little different flavor each and every morning here on That Business Show. As always, you can learn more about the show at tampabayradio.com. All shows available on demand there via the show info tab. And also you can review all the guests that have been on the show via the guest network tab on the homepage. Got a full house in studio today. Going to be a great show today. In just a moment, I'll be talking with J.J. Roberts, Director of Tech Garage, and then Todd DeLozier, President of Meridian Security. And then on the second half of the show, Sheila Drowan and Brenda Lube, who are President and CEO of Corporate Fitness Works. So let's go ahead and bring on my first guest here. J.J. Roberts is the Director of Tech Garage and is a serial entrepreneur with 3 successful technology startups to his credit. 2 of his startups were members of the Advanced Technology Development Center at Georgia Tech, one of the earliest business incubators in the country. J.J., welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So tell me, what is the mission of Tech Garage?
Tech Garage's mission is to accelerate entrepreneurial success. And basically, we work with young startup companies to move them forward in their quest to be successful.
Okay, and you've got quite an entrepreneurial path, right? I mean, you got 3 tech startups to your name. What companies have you started here?
We started a company called Systronics, and actually I was born in Clearwater and then was lucky, went to high school in Pinellas County, went to Georgia Tech, and so most of my startups were in Atlanta. But they were all technology-based. They were all purchased by larger companies, and so it was a rough road, but a good road for me.
No, I mean, technology is where all the the business is these days, right? With these startup companies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to cater to technology first, but we do have a few companies that are just outside the technology realm. It's where you actually end up deciding to go.
Now, you recently relocated to downtown St. Pete from mid Pinellas. Why St. Petersburg right now?
St. Pete has a very aggressive task force to bring innovation into the district. They have the high-tech corridor, the innovation district, and they're trying to bring more and more innovation into the area. The political structure and the entrepreneurial structure is very good for nurturing success.
Okay. Now, how did the name and idea for Tech Garage come about?
Well, actually, we're located in an old parking garage, and so that's where the garage part comes from, and then Tech, T-E-C, is for Technology Entrepreneurial Center.
Okay. Now, you work with a lot of different startups, mostly tech-related, correct? Tell me about what some of the ideas that are coming out of the Tampa Bay region right now. That's one reason I love doing the show each and every morning, because there's just so much entrepreneurism going on. Tell me about what you're seeing over there.
Well, it's really exciting to see what's going on. We have 21 companies right now that are actually part of the incubator program, and so they get coached weekly. We meet with them weekly. We set goals, milestones. We have 4 companies that are actually focused on helping people with disabilities. So as you age, either arthritic conditions, quadriplegic coming out of the military, people that are confined to wheelchairs. This one group, we have a health group that is working in a different direction, just in health-based operations. And then technology, from social media security, investigation, all the way into publicity and advertising.
Do you have any big success stories that have come out of the incubator just yet, or is it still just a lot of people in the startup phase right now?
We've been around for 12 years, so we have some successes. ALPS is probably one of the better. It's a military-based, working with special ops. ALPS, ALPS.
Okay.
And they work with, as part of Homeland Security and MacDill Air Force Base in the special operations. We have about 8 companies right now that started within our organization from no revenues, only an idea, generating revenues. So they're not quite cash flow positive in all cases, but they are generating revenues, and we think 8 out of 20 is a pretty good success story.
Wow. So what are your primary responsibilities at Tech Garage?
My primary responsibilities is to work with the clients. As part of the 3 startups that I did, you learn stuff. My first startup, fortunately, unfortunately, we were all very well educated, 3 people, knew we were going to be billionaires in a couple years, and it all didn't happen exactly that way.
Right.
There's more seat of the pants learning to getting a startup going than people would think. We got lucky at the end of 2 years. Somebody bought something from us finally. We started selling more and more, and then a large company out of Germany bought us. So it was one of those things that you can't learn in the academic world. And what we try to do is bring that to the table, experience. I have 35 years in startups, and we work with the companies to set goals, set milestones, stay on track, stay on schedule, put together the right team, and it helps.
What are your keys to success when you're coaching young entrepreneurs, in these startup companies? What are some of the mistakes that you see? But ultimately, what are some of the key successes that you guide people on early on?
Well, from me, my perspective, I have a lot of opinions. And I think one thing in the startup world is that there are really no facts. It is opinions, and it is experience, and it is learning. And so one of the things that everybody comes to us with is a great idea, and I'm going to be rich. Mm-hmm. And that's just not the way it is. I mean, that great idea is one thing, but the passion to make it actually happen is something else. And so people come with ideas, but they don't have the drive, and they don't have the really work ethic maybe, and they don't have the ability to fill in the team. And so that's something that you can't learn. You have to be able to fill in the team. You have to have all components of a business.
Now, do you see a lot of people coming to you? I think in the tech business right now, the app is the big thing on the different phones and things like that. Do you have a lot of people coming to you and saying, no, they got the next great app? Tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody comes and they have an app and they want to do it. And our first question to those people is, well, how do you make it a business? Because an app is one thing, but there are about 600,000 apps in the iTunes store and in Google Play. And so 600,000, what's your chance of actually being one of those that comes to the front and gets sold? And so how do you make it a business? How do you go from an app where you just have created something that somebody might play with and then make it a real business?
What are some opportunities in the tech businesses out there? Where are we lacking in the market that different business owners that are looking to maybe do a startup can, focus on? Where would you point them in that direction? What direction would you point them in?
Yeah, I think there are lots of unique ideas that people can come up with. There's lots of transportation type ideas now. The GPS capability that is coming to the phones has opened a lot of doors for people. The technology in healthcare. We in Florida have the largest concentration of seniors, and those people that are taking care of seniors. There's a lot of capabilities that can be introduced through the smartphones as far as keeping track of your parents or keeping track of people and where they're going and what they need.
Now, how do you see the technology scene changing as a result of the Tech Garage and its programs?
I think the biggest thing is that success. People need to have partners. People need to have somebody else. You can't go it alone. And so wherever you go, whether it's Tech Garage or some of the other entrepreneurial centers around here, two heads are better than one. And so I think that what we bring to the table is those two heads. We bring a lot of experience. The group, we have 5 employees as part of Tech Garage and over 50 years of experience in doing startups. And so it's that experience level that brings such a great component to the table.
Okay, so Tech Garage it has a number of programs that helps startups, but it's also a work center, right? It's not just necessarily a program center, right? Tell me more about the services and how Tech Garage works. I need to understand it a little bit better.
Okay, so Tech Garage has a couple different options. You can do co-working there, and you can co-work between the hours of 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and it's only $50 a month. So you get free coffee, free Wi-Fi, interface with other entrepreneurs. You can also get 24/7 access for just $100 a month. And so to be in that co-working environment with high technology people with ideas from 30 or 40 different people sharing, nurturing, helping each other is huge. And just to be able to share those experiences is tremendous. At the $300 level, then you can get coaching. And so that's where our incubator program starts. And so for $300 a month, then you get coaching once a week for an hour a week. And we set goals, we set milestones, that's the thing. And then we also have offices. So it's basically a 4-tiered program. You can rent some offices. Right now we have a waiting list for the offices, but that's what we provide.
Now, the coaching, is it just one-on-one coaching? Do you do any type of classes or, like group learning sessions on where to find funding, how to get incorporated, things of that nature? Are there specific classes, or is it strictly just one-on-one coaching type of things?
No, the one-on-one coaching is for our incubator clients, but we also have a program called Startup Exchange, where every month we have 4 mentors, usually an IP attorney, a general practices attorney, marketing and sales, and a coach sometimes. And we do it at a local establishment, a bar or someplace like that, and we invite anybody in the area to come to the event and get coaching. So you can get IP advice for free and have a drink to go along with it.
IP, intellectual property?
Intellectual property, yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And we also then have Tech Talk, which is a monthly series that's held in the Microsoft building. We have started a new practice for entrepreneurs, Mentors Corner for our clients. And so we have either a salesperson, a marketing person, an attorney, and you can schedule appointments with them. And so it goes beyond the one-on-one. We have lots of group sessions. We participate in the Entrepreneur Week and different events. There's 1 Million Cups, which is a great event, goes on every Wednesday morning. So there's a variety of events that we support and start.
Now, you're planning another facility larger than Tech Garage. Discuss that and what types of companies you anticipate to house in that facility and where it's going to be located.
This is part of the entire reason we moved down to St. Pete. St. Petersburg and Pinellas County, they're very aggressive in getting the high-tech corridor started. So we have 2 acres down there near All Children's Hospital. And with working with the county and the state and St. Pete, then we're building a 40,000 square foot facility there. It'll have a wet lab space, a key anchor tenant. And at that point, we'll be able to take care of a lot more clients and a lot more people.
Wow, very exciting, and just great to be part of the entrepreneurial spirit that's going on in the Tampa Bay region. Just a lot of stuff going on out there, and so I'm sure you're very excited to be a part of it.
It gives me goosebumps. The reason I like doing it so much is because when you see somebody start a business and experience success, it's sort of like watching your kid ride a bicycle for the first time. You get goosebumps. It's just so exciting to see the success take place.
Yeah, and that's a huge part of what this show is all about, is hearing the stories and hopefully inspiring others to do the same, to step outside the box, outside of their comfort zone, and get out there and start that business. Because everybody's got an idea. We all do.
Absolutely. And take that idea and share it and move forward as a team, and it makes the whole world different.
Yeah, and if people out there that have the next great tech idea, they need to contact J.J. Roberts, correct?
That's correct. Give us a call at the Tampa Bay Innovation Center and Tech Garage, and we set up a meeting with you. We vet your ideas, so we'll talk to you about your idea and offer some suggestions right there. That's no charge, and then put you on a plan, or at least give you some ideas on where to go next.
All right, sounds like a plan. J.J. Roberts, Director of Tech Garage, and you can learn more about him, tbinnovates.com. Phone number 727-547-7340, 727-547-7340. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Very slow traffic in Manatee and Sarasota counties along southbound I-75 anywhere between State Road 70 and Fruitville Road due to a crash off to the right-hand side near Fruitville. May want to hop off at State Road 70 and use some other roads to get around that area. Also in Tampa, there's a crash along Hillsborough Avenue at Himes and also northbound 41 at County Line Road in Lutz. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
Today, hot with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 80. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance, high 93.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show at tampabayradio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the different social media sites for all the show updates. Facebook.com/That Business Show. And also, I'm on Twitter under Jamie_Meloni. And we do make the show available via a podcast over at iTunes. Just search for That Business Show. Time to bring on my next guest for the show. Todd Delosier is the president of Meridian Security, a contract security company headquartered in St. Petersburg. As a security professional, he has worked with such international companies as Nike, John Deere, and the NFL Players Association. Todd, welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So, first of all, tell me a little bit more about your company and how you got started.
Well, I worked in the security industry since 1998, and back in 2013, I was laid off and decided whether it was time to go into business for myself or go to work for another company. And I made the decision to go ahead and start a company that focused back on the community itself and building relationships with the clients.
Okay, so how does your company work? It's a contract security company, correct? So you provide security for different events and people, so to speak. Is that correct?
More of like office buildings, condominiums, gated communities, car dealerships, things of that nature.
Okay, so are all the employees, are all the people that you work with employees, or do you use subcontractors? How does this work? If you get like a new contract, so to speak, maybe a new building has come to you, do you have to bring in new employees, or do you sub it out? How does that work?
No, we bring in all the employees that actually work for our company. That's part of our requirement with the state for licensing.
Okay, and talk to me about the licensing that's required in the security business.
Well, every security officer themselves has to actually go through a 40-hour training class in order to be a licensed security officer. They send their paperwork off to Tallahassee, and Tallahassee then does a background check, make sure that they're vetted. And as an employee or as an employer, we actually then hire them, and we go through the training process and get them on board. And we have to actually have a license as well to be a licensed agency to perform security in the state. Is
there a lot of companies out there that don't obey the laws, so to speak, that are out there without licensing? I know, like within contractors and what I do, you see a lot of people practicing contracting work without licensing. Is it a problem in your industry, or are most of the companies out there reputable?
Most of them are fairly reputable. There are ones that do get caught occasionally, and with that being said, the Division of Licensing is actually one of the only agencies in the state of Florida that operates solely based on fines and fees. So if they catch them, they will fine them, and they will submit them a pretty hefty fine.
So why the security business early on? What drew you into that line of work?
Law enforcement. My entire dad's side of the family is pretty much in law enforcement with multiple police agencies up in the Maryland, D.C. area, and that was going to be my career track. I actually started out going to a police academy up there and left that and then decided to get into the private part of it.
Yeah, why not the police business? So is it just too regulated, or why not the police business? Then?
Yeah, in the long run, for me, I guess I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I really wanted to do things for myself. Worked in other businesses for other people, and then, like I said, got to the point where I actually wanted to do it for myself. In fact, as a kid, I was in a civics class, and we had to create a business of our own in the civics class, and mine happened to be a security class or security company. So even as a 10th grader, that was kind of my goal, and my thought was that I was going to have a security business.
Now, tell me what you've grown the company into today. Give me the basically the overview of your company as it is today.
Well, we started out with one client, happened to run into them. It was a former client from a company I used to work for. We ran into each other, and he asked me what I was doing. I told him what I was going to be doing, and we started off. And since then, we've added several accounts. We've got some hotels and motels along the beach. We've got a couple of gated communities. We deal with one of the largest car dealerships in the area. And we're looking to actually build more on a patrol service as well, where we actually go and can do patrols of properties in a marked vehicle.
Now, do you carry, what type of weaponry are you allowed to carry? Are you allowed to be armed at all, or do you have to carry just basically like pepper spray or something on you at these different facilities?
Totally different licensing. That's a G licensed officer. We don't do any G work at all. We only do D licensed, and D licensed officers are unarmed officers.
Okay.
So we don't do any armed work at all. And in fact, when people call me and ask me if we do armed work or ask if we would help them out with armed work, I usually ask them what the purpose is. Mm-hmm. And if they've got a legitimate reason, I'm going to refer them to the police department or sheriff's department.
Okay, so who is your ideal client then in your line of work? I mean, who's is it the condominium buildings where you're just doing property maintenance type of security? But who are you looking for as a client out there?
Gated communities, office buildings, condominiums, car dealerships, hotels, motels, industrial properties, any place that has any kind of a risk of property theft or damage, or anybody that's getting into the property that's not supposed to be there.
Now, tell me about the advantages of your company versus some of the national brands that are out there in the security practice.
Well, I worked for a long time with some of the larger companies, and for me personally, there was that disconnect of being able to have that one-on-one interaction with the clients. And when I started the business, one of the first things I wanted to do was ensure that we guaranteed one-on-one connection. And even as the owner, I want to make sure that even if we grow bigger, I always am available to my clients. They all have my cell phone. They can call me at 6 in the morning, 3 in the morning. If they need me, we're going to be there. And I think that that's one thing that probably from the larger companies is missing. I'm sure they have local managers, and I'm not going to knock any of them. Mm-hmm. But for me, the owner, having that connection, I guess the old saying, the buck stops here.
Right.
And there's that red tape is eliminated. We have streamlined that management process to where the owner, the president of the company is very readily available for the clients.
Now, do any of your employees or people on any of the sites have any type of arresting powers if you have a contentious situation? How does that handle? Do you have to call the police and then try to control the situation the best that you can until law enforcement arrives? How does that work?
Well, actually, we have the same arrest powers as a regular citizen. Our job, our main function is to observe and report. And obviously, if something is going on that we have a concern with, we're going to call the police. We're going to call the sheriff and get them to respond. And the big key with that, again, it comes back to relationships, is developing good relationships with the local law enforcement to ensure that when we communicate with them, they're going to respond. They know who we are, and they understand what our role is, and they're going to get there. And in fact, most law enforcement agencies are very happy to have security there because it's just an extra set of eyes. I mean, for instance, in the Tampa Bay market alone, there's over 10,000 licensed security officers and over 120 security agencies.
Yeah. And a security officer battery, I mean, if people engage you in any type of conflict, I mean, that's a third-degree felony, right? So people need to talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a couple of years ago, they actually passed a law to make it a third-degree felony because it used to be a misdemeanor. And several agencies got together and really pitched it to the state legislature to get that so where it's actually the same exact situation as if they were to assault a police officer. And I think that's important for people to know is that, security officers, although they may be looked at times as being a quote-unquote rent-a-cop, that's not the case.
Yeah.
They're there and the police respect them and want them to be there.
And you're providing a service, yeah, absolutely. Got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more. Todd DeLozier, he's the president of Meridian Security. Learn more about him and his company at meridiansecurity.us, and you can reach out to him, 727-798-4777. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles, and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Actual mileage will vary. Government 5-star safety ratings are part of the U.S. Department of Transportation's new car assessment program, safercar.gov.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Still big delays in Manatee and Sarasota County along southbound I-75 between State Road 70 and Fruitville Road. Crash being moved off to the right-hand side there. In Tampa, crash on Hillsborough Avenue east of Dale Mabry at Himes. Also one on northbound Dale Mabry at County Line Road in Lutz. And in Pinellas Park, northbound 66th Street, just north of Bryan Dairy Road, the right lane block there. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Partly sunny skies today with a high reaching the low 90s. Look for a 40% chance of mainly afternoon showers and storms. And the low tonight, a bit mild, around 80 degrees. Impact Radio, 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, and thanks for staying tuned in to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, you'll find this show on here weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, a business variety show with a different business owner, entrepreneur, political community leader in each and every morning, talking about their successes and tips and tricks of how they got to where they are in their line of work. So I invite you to tune in each and every weekday morning here at 1250 WHNZ at 8 a.m. Learn more about the community leaders and what people are doing here on this show. And as always, I invite you over to my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, all shows are available on demand. Also on the site, you'll notice I do sell real estate. That's my regular day job. The radio is a little side project that I like to do each and every morning. But on the website, tampabayradio.com, you can peruse all the local real estate listings. And I do offer a free home valuation to all of my listeners. Just click on the Sell Your Home link on the homepage, put in the information on your property, and we'll get you over a free home valuation, typically within 24 to 48 business hours. And we need some inventory out there right now. The market very undersupplied, and you may be surprised what you may get for your home right now. A lot of properties getting bid up in multiple offer situations. So definitely reach out to me. I'm an excellent resource for real estate in the Tampa Bay region. Learn more, tampabayradio.com. Currently talk with Todd Delosier, president of Meridian Security. And Todd, talk to me about the financial benefits of having a security company associated with your facility.
Absolutely. A lot of companies don't realize that even when they're not there, they're still responsible for any damage or anything that may happen on the property, parking lots, whatever the case may be. A lot of insurance companies will actually offer a discount to people who do have a security protocol. We, of course, we can do either patrol services or we can have an officer on site to ensure that there's nobody hanging out in the parking lots, no damage to the property. Mm-hmm. And it helps to reduce their liability and exposure.
Does it? I mean, is it a huge benefit to the associations? Like I'm speaking like specifically about the condominium buildings, for instance, to have armed. I'm not armed, but security professionals on site. It helps with their insurance and lowers those costs. Correct?
Absolutely. Some insurance companies will actually offer as much as a 20% discount.
Wow, that's pretty good benefit right there.
Absolutely.
So definitely people that are listening need to contact you and have a sit down with you and see how they could maybe shift some costs around and then add some security to their building as well, correct?
Absolutely. And when you're talking about in the Tampa Bay market alone, or actually in Florida alone, $375 million stolen value of vehicles in 2014, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. And there's a property crime every 54 seconds.
Yeah.
And so having security there is a good key.
What's the long-term plan for your company? Are you going to just keep growing it? I see, in your line of work, a lot of the bigger companies buy up the smaller companies. But, what's your long-term outlook with your company?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question because actually the key in our business and one of the trends has been to build the businesses up, build the companies up, and then sell them off to other companies. That's not my goal. My goal is to maintain relationships, build relationships in the community, whether it be Pinellas County. The Tampa Bay market in general is really where I want to grow. If we grow beyond that, I'm looking at some other models, maybe doing some sort of franchising with some people into other markets that want to grow. Gainesville is an area that we've actually tapped into with another individual who's interested in opening up there. But we want to grow in this market. We want to maintain a growth level that we don't lose touch with our clients and with the community. We don't ever want to get too big to where I'm not available to be there for them.
Yeah. Well, hey, great discussion, Todd, and thank you so much for coming in and also for what you're doing for the community. Very inspirational story. I'd love hearing from business owners each and every morning.
Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. And that was Todd Delozier, president of Meridian Security. Learn more about him and his company, meridiansecurity.us, and you can reach out to him, 727-798-4777. Again, 727-798-4777. Time to bring on my next guests for the show. Sheila Drowan and Brenda Loeb are the CEO and president of Corporate Fitness Works, a trusted provider of comprehensive wellness and fitness solutions established in 1988. Certified as a women-owned business through the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, Corporate Fitness Works is an industry leader in the design and development of high-energy corporate government and residential wellness and fitness programs. Sheila and Brenda, welcome to the show this morning.
Thanks, Jamie.
So the first thing I want to touch on, hey, good morning to you too. Yeah, your other partner here on the phone there. Make sure she's on the line with us, which she is. So first off, this company is a certified woman-owned business. Tell me about that and the value behind that.
Well, you have to be 51% woman-owned. So as a certified woman-owned business, we have an opportunity to get to know supplier diversity folks from major corporations. So it gives us access and opportunity to be able to work with large corporations.
Is it difficult to obtain that type of status? Because, I mean, I'm always, with what I do in real estate, and I always tell people, listen, if you have your own practice, you definitely want to get it, as a woman-owned business, just make your wife 51%, you 49% if the man's actually running it. But because it makes a huge difference, especially with the government contracts that are out there, because I deal with these bank properties, and they love to go to the minority and the women-owned businesses. It makes a huge business advantage.
It is. It's all about opportunity and access. I mean, that's really what it's about, is really giving us an open door to major corporations, and hopefully that we can gain, more business.
Now, tell me about the founding of the company back in 1988 with just 3 clients. Tell me about how it came together with you and Brenda.
Well, Sheila and I, what we've done is that we initially sent out inquiry letters to companies such as Corporate Fitness Works, and then had an opportunity to meet somebody in the New England area. And so Sheila and I literally both quit our jobs, and Sheila started marketing for major corporations. And within 6 months, Sheila obtained our first client, which was GT Telenet, which is now Sprint Today in Reston, Virginia. And then within 3 years, we got 3 contracts, which was Sprint World Headquarters in Kansas City and Boston Properties. And from there, we then started Corporate Fitness Works.
Okay, let's go to Sheila, who's on the phone line. Sheila, tell me about the company today. What type of services does it offer, and who are your ideal clients? But tell me more about the company as it is today.
Yes, we We basically have done the same thing we've done since 1988 as far as the management of wellness fitness programs at corporations. We have residential communities where we provide services, hospitals, government agencies where we're going in and working with basically the employees or the residents of a community, and our staff, basically our staff are the people that go in and they're there permanently. They're part of that corporation or that residential community, working with the people, trying to improve their health, wellness, well-being, everything from getting people out and walking to getting people trained to do a marathon. We do a lot of wellness, health education. And then we've always, from the day one, have done consulting and layout and design services for people that are looking to start up a new facility or renovate a facility. We have somebody on our staff that has been with us for pretty much the whole time we've been in business that does layout design, works with the architects, and makes the equipment recommendations. We're very much a service organization. It's our employees that are the key to our success because they're out there every day working with our clients. So it's been a great ride, and we've really had it's been a passion of both Brenda's and mine for forever as far as fitness and impacting people's lives. So it's been definitely a rewarding career. And you have to have that passion to be able to impact those people's lives. So
do you work with any corporations that have on-site fitness facilities? I know, like the larger companies will have that. I worked with a facility that had one years ago. Tell me about that.
Yes, that's our major focus of our business. Probably 90% of our business is on-site.
Where they actually have a facility or some type of gym products there. Okay,
it's their facility. It's their space, it's their equipment, and it's our staff that go in and run it. And I always explain that we're like a food service company that comes into these large corporations and runs their food service. We're the experts. We have the people that have the background in the health and fitness and exercise science, exercise physiology background that are taking people through programs, and they're there permanently working with the employees. They become part of that culture of that company. But it's their facility that we're managing.
Yeah, years ago when I worked for Cargill, which then became Mosaic, they had an on-site fitness facility, and on all my breaks I would go up there, and it's a great thing. I tell anybody that's involved in a large company, consider adding some type of fitness break for your employees. You'd be surprised at how it rejuvenates and the investment that you'll get out of your employees from that. Correct?
Exactly, and what we've said is, as much as people want to exercise and want to get fit, they're lazy, so we need to make it as convenient as possible, and having it at work really makes a difference as far as whether you come in a little bit early before work or you come at your lunch break or you stay after work and work out and then go home after that. It makes it convenient and makes it much easier and accessible for people to do.
Yeah. Now, Brenda, in 2014, I see Corporate Fitness Works, your company, joined forces with L&T Health and Fitness, which expanded your market share. Talk to us about this acquisition.
Yeah, we had a major acquisition which enabled us to really expand tremendously. We almost tripled in size. So we are in 26 states with close to 140 locations and close to 700 employees. So it enabled us to have a greater reach and more national presence, which is great because it gives an opportunity for our team to grow and for us to be able to serve more corporations.
Wow, I mean, it's just incredible, to grow, and you've been in business since 1988 and acquire another company, and the numbers you're throwing out there, I mean, that's just great. I mean, to start from something and then, essentially nothing almost, and then to grow it to what it is today, so I commend you both for that. Sheila, I see you're currently a finalist in this year's Tampa Bay Business Journal's Health and Wellness category, too. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about.
Well, I was nominated by somebody and it's the Businesswoman of the Year that is sponsored through the Tampa Bay Business Journal, and the category that I'm obviously in is the Health and Wellness category. From that nomination, we had to have people make references and I had to fill out a kind of complete application about my career and everything and what I've done, and I got some great people to write references for me, and I've now been selected as one of the finalists, which will be announced a week from today at the actual event there in Tampa.
Just helping to develop the brand, so to speak, for Corporate Fitness Works, and
Well,
I mean that's all part of it.
It certainly helps. Yes, it's a great honor. I just and I know people say that, but just to be a finalist is just very exciting, and we are getting press. You're right; it's in the Tampa Bay Business Journal, and I've had a lot of people calling, and I even got a letter from the governor, which is
congratulations, and
pretty impressive.
Hey, branding and getting your name out there, it's all part of building a business, and so definitely a good thing to have in your back pocket right there. What's the vision for the company? I'll come back over to Brenda. What's your vision for this business?
To continue to grow. I mean, we have such an opportunity to really impact the lives of so many people. Because remember, we're in the business of health and managing chronic disease and preventing chronic disease. And with heart disease being the number one killer, we want to minimize that and increase productivity because, as you know, the greatest asset for any organization is their employees.
Right, absolutely.
So we're really trying to grow the company, gradual growth, so we can control it and give professional opportunities to our team.
Yeah. Got to take a quick break, but I'm currently talking with Brenda Loeb and Sheila Drowan of Corporate Fitness Works. You can learn more about them and the company at corporatefitnessworks.com. Again, corporatefitnessworks.com. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Big delays south of Ybor City along Adamo Drive, northbound Causeway, 22nd Street. All those areas near the Selman Crosstown and 22nd Street, all big delays due to a train that was traveling through the area and also a minor accident on 22nd Street near the Crosstown. Avoid that area if you can. Also, slow traffic on the interstate still through downtown Tampa, southbound 275, and over in Pinellas County, northbound 66th Street, north of Bryan Dairy, crash there. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America at ccfa.org.
Today, hot with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 80. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance, high 93.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned in to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talk with Brenda Loeb and Sheila Drowan, CEO and President of Corporate Fitness Works, and you can learn more about them at CorporateFitnessWorks.com. Brenda, let me come back over to you. Talk to me about the importance of healthy cultures. I know that's something that's near and dear to your practice.
We are in the business of retaining and recruiting employees. And how do you do that? By creating a healthy culture. So companies are looking at developing benefits to obviously make it easy for them, their employees to be productive at work. So when you create a healthy culture, having an on-site fitness center that where employees can take a break, re-energize, reduce their health risk, really does impact the culture of any organization. So really, you look at how important that is. Just like you have an online food service, you need to have a physical activity component to helping people be well and be productive throughout the day. So by having full-time employees that really help individuals really improve their health, we're doing that every day. And as a result, it increases morale. It helps people really enjoy what they're doing. So healthy cultures, to me, is the most important thing for employees to consider in their everyday life.
Sheila, I know you deal a lot with sourcing new business. Do you get a lot of pushback when you're trying to sell this to the large companies? Oh, we don't need an on-site facility. There's no value in that. Talk to me about how you sell and you kind of coach corporations on the value of on-site facilities, wellness facilities.
Well, it's funny, when we first started, yes, we had a lot of pushback, looking at the expense of it, looking at the ability to find the space and take that away from maybe other business units that they had within their company. Nowadays, I think people know that it's going to make a difference. They've seen the research. And what we try to do now more than anything is, they know the results, they've seen the results as far as any kind of research from some of the other corporations that are doing this as far as how it impacts their employees. Now we are trying more to help them look at the whole financial situation, how it makes sense to do it. We do a lot of consulting on again, the most efficient way to do it, as far as we do encourage corporations, for instance, to charge the employees something. 90% of our clients on the corporate side are charging something through a payroll deduction. Again, it's a minimal fee, but we find that offsets some of their costs as far as, again, maintaining equipment or buying new equipment as the equipment depreciates. And then also, we find there's a vested interest if the employee is paying something. They tend to use it if they see $5 or $10 coming out of their paycheck every.
I remember at the facility where I worked, and we had the on-site wellness facility. The lady that worked up in the facility came around once every 1 to 2 months, and she would do blood pressure checks and just basic preventative maintenance type of checks. Is that something that you also work in with Corporate Fitness Works on the on-site facilities?
Yes, one of the big things is that when our team goes into a particular corporation, again, they become part of that culture and work with human resources, work with all the different departments within that company to try to get out, not only just have people coming to the fitness center, but our team going out to the cafeteria, going out to staff meetings, and trying to get involved in the whole company to impact them, and whether it's doing a blood pressure screening in the cafeteria area on a regular basis, or coming into a team meeting that they might be having and doing some kind of education to get people involved. And we try to, the people that exercise, that are exercisers or into exercise, they're going to come to the center. No matter what, they're going to come.
Yeah, I mean, I used it all the time when I was
they're already into it. The people we're trying to affect and get involved are the people that haven't exercised for a long time, and try to get them in and have them understand that even if they come and walk on the treadmill or get involved in some kind of a walking program or weight management program, whatever their initial needs are. So we're not the image of the muscle kind of a
right, just basic, just basic fitness, a treadmill,
we're
basic
really
weights.
Trying to educate people and get people going and just active, whatever that might mean to them.
Brenda, go ahead.
So, Jamie, what it is that this is the difference of your private health club. So an individual comes into our facility. We do a health history, medical history to find out their limitations and their personal lifestyle goals. So we're really in lifestyle management. So if a person has high blood pressure, taking cholesterol medication, a smoker, we're trying to minimize those risks. So we look at the health risk and then look at how physical activity can reduce those health risks to be able to improve their overall health. So that's really the key. And then you have full-time people there every day as a resource to help them with the progression of their physical activity program. The hardest thing for people is once they get started, what do you do next? Now what? Mm-hmm. So we actually help them with a stretching program, balance, posture is really important as we're getting older, to hopefully that they'll sustain at least 30 minutes of daily physical activity today. Yeah. That's the key.
And real quick, got about a minute left here, but I want to talk about your book. Brenda, you have author of the book, You Can Play. You're kind enough to bring me a copy of it as well. I appreciate that. But tell me about your book and where this is available and what's in this.
Okay, so it's available on Amazon. And the reason I wrote that book is that I've been an athlete my whole life. And I was a physical education teacher. And what I realized through athletics, I learned a lot about team play and the skills that we naturally learn being in team sports, communication, leadership. And what I realized, and I found out that 90% of women haven't had an opportunity to play team sports, whether it be high school or college, whether they didn't have a program or whether they weren't athletic. So I wrote about that. So it's a leadership book to help women understand the skill sets that they didn't even learn because they didn't get to play team.
Well, great interview, and I greatly appreciate you both stopping in. And this book available, You Can Play, on Amazon, and we'll get that up on the show recap as well. Brenda and Sheila, thank you very much for being in studio with me today and talking to me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
And again, that was Brenda Loeb and Sheila Drowan, CEO and President of Corporate Fitness Works. Learn more about them, corporatefitnessworks.com. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll see you back in here Monday morning at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.